Manchester United reportedly offer Sander Berge £100,000 per week contract. Old Trafford is saved with plans showing that they will keep Old Trafford as well as build a new stadium. And Frankie de Jong linked back to Manchester United. These are some of the stories we will be discussing on this afternoon's show. But before we get into that, please do me one small favour. Smash a like on today's video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And let's get straight on into it. So I want to start the show off with some positivity, some breaking news that's just come out in the last couple of minutes. This is being widely reported by all of the kind of mainstream sports journalists that apparently Manchester United plan to keep Old Trafford as well as build a new stadium. I want you to let me know what you think about this. For me personally, that has always been what I wanted to happen. I think trying to rebuild Old Trafford as it is next to impossible. But building a brand new stadium in the owned land around Old Trafford. Obviously, Manchester United have got loads of land around the stadium. I think it's a car park at the moment. So there's the space there to build a brand new stadium for 100,000 people. State of the art, beautiful. You know, better than any stadium in the UK. But I've always been sad by the prospect of Old Trafford being knocked down. And the story that's just come out, let me read it out to you. So this is literally everywhere, is that apparently Old Trafford will be scaled down to a 30,000 capacity seater. Obviously, it currently holds around 75,000. And apparently then it will be used for under 21s, for the youth academy, for the women's team. It will be used for museum tours, you know, all of those types of things, other smaller types of events. So it might be that you could go and have a concert there or whatever it might be. So I think it's exactly what Manchester United should be doing, because if they were to destroy Old Trafford, it would literally be ripping a part of our history out of us. You know, there's people who've scattered their family's ashes in Old Trafford. It means so much to this fan base. It's such a special place that to demolish a stadium that's been sat there for 114 years would just be absolutely devastating. So I'm really, really excited about this. I think building the new stadium makes a lot of sense because the Glazers have let Old Trafford rot so much that to try and bring Old Trafford up to a modern day stadium would be so difficult. It could be done, but it'd be very, very difficult. So yeah, I really, really like this idea. I've got no issue with the new stadium being sponsored by something, you know, whether it's like the Snapdragon Arena. I couldn't care less. It means nothing to me. It's just bricks. Whereas Old Trafford has a place in all of our hearts, doesn't it? So I'm really, really happy about this. Effectively, what they'll do is they'll take down probably some of the top tiers of the stadium. So it would just be like the bottom layer and the middle layer. I think it's perfect. I'm really, really happy. And I think that I assume most of the fan base will be happy with this. But obviously, I want to get you guys' opinions. Like, how do you feel about this story that a new stadium will be built directly next to Old Trafford? Old Trafford will remain, and they'll make it smaller for around 30,000 people and used for the women's team and the youth teams. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Always interested to see what other Manchester United fans have to say. So make sure you get involved in that. And now I want to jump on over to Sander Berge. So the story coming out this afternoon from multiple different journalists here in the UK is that apparently Manchester United are willing to offer Sander Berge £100,000 a week to come to Manchester United. The story says that Sander Berge is understood to be excited about the possibility of playing at the Theatre of Dreams on a bumper contract. Now, I'm going to react to this immediately. Why would we give Sander Berge £100,000 a week? Like, that doesn't make any logical sense whatsoever. He's currently earning a lot less than that at Burnley. So why would we give him some massive new deal? I don't really get that. He's on 40k a week at Burnley at the moment. Why would we give him 100? That's like 2.5 times his current salary. He wants to leave Burnley. Burnley want to sell him, and he's coming to the biggest club in the world. At least the biggest club in England, you know? With the biggest fan base in the world. So I don't think Manchester United would be that stupid to give him 100 grand a week. Like, if they need to convince him to come to Manchester United and leave Burnley, and the only way they convince him is with money, then I don't want him at Manchester United. I was excited about Sander Berge because I thought there was an opportunity here to buy a player who is definitely talented, is at a lesser club we could get for a reasonable amount of money and bring through. He would have the right attitude. He'd want to try hard. But if he's literally just motivated by money, which is what this story is saying, then that puts me off the deal. So we'll wait and see how this one progresses. Obviously, at the moment, we haven't even put in an offer for Sander Berge yet, so it might still not happen, but that's what's being reported today, that apparently Manchester United have spoken to Sander Berge's camp and they've told him that they would be willing to pay as much as 100 grand a week. But I want to be fair in my reporting and I want to give you the full picture. we aren't the only club who are interested in signing Sander Berge. So there's probably people sat at home saying, why the hell are we doing this and all the rest of it. Apparently, Liverpool are also trying to sign Sander Berge. This is being widely reported in the last couple of hours that apparently Liverpool are showing interest and want to sign Sander Berge. Now, maybe that will happen, maybe it won't, but maybe that's why Manchester United have gone in saying we'll give you 100 grand a week. Maybe that's what Liverpool have offered. I don't know the ins and outs of the deal, obviously, but Liverpool have been linked to Sander Berge quite heavily over the last couple of days, and he is apparently a strong option for the Liverpool side going forward. So we'll wait and see what happens with that one. It's not a one-horse race is what I'm trying to get at. There are other clubs interested, so it's not like we're giving him 100 grand a week when there's no one else wanted. Like we did with Antony. There wasn't a single other club in the world who wanted Antony, and we were stupid enough to give Ajax 95 million euros as well as £200,000 a week in wages. Like, that was stupid. Whereas I can kind of half see the reasoning here that, you know, if there is genuine interest from Liverpool, then around 100 grand a week is probably what the going rate is for a Premier League midfielder in the top four of the table. So there's different ways to look at it, isn't there? But obviously, let me know what you guys think. Like, how do you feel about Sander Berge? Do you want him at Manchester United? How do you feel about paying him £100,000 a week? Do you think that's too much? Where do you think he'll end up? Do you think he'll go to Liverpool? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And then the next little bit of story as well, which comes out from a different journalist, is that Sander Berge's dream move will only happen if Manchester United get somewhere near to Burnley's asking price. Apparently, Burnley are demanding for £30 million, including add-ons. And it says, apparently Manchester United have already made contact with Sander Berge's representatives, and United would be willing to pay around 20 million. I think 20 million would be fair. 30 million, I think that's too much. If we can't even get 25 million for McTominay, how are they expecting to get 30 million for Sander Berge? I'm sorry. Like, they've just been relegated. They need money. Sander Berge wants to leave, and they're not getting 30 million. So 20 million, I think, would probably be fair. 100 grand a week is maybe a bit questionable, but I get it if there's other rivals trying to secure his signature. But let me know what you think about that. 20 million deal for Sander Berge, £100,000 a week. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. And then the next story I've got for you is on everyone's favourite topic. It is Frankie de Jong. The stories just keep linking us to Frankie de Jong, and I hoped we'd never have to speak about Frankie de Jong again, to be honest, because 2 years ago, all that the fan base were talking about was Frankie de Jong. We agreed a deal with Barcelona, and then he rejected us. And that was like being stabbed in the heart, wasn't it? It was horrible. But the story's coming out today. This is coming from Manchester Evening News. It's coming from another journalist called Michael Platt, and then another journalist as well. We've got 3 or 4 different journalists reporting that apparently Manchester United are now open to completing a deal for de Jong if they can agree a fee of around 30 to 40 million pounds. Okay. And then another person says that apparently Manchester United have just inquired to Barcelona about de Jong's availability. I don't really know how to react to this. Like, I like de Jong. I think he's a quality player. I think he'd do well at Manchester United. He maybe is the missing piece of the puzzle. He was Erik ten Hag's number one target, and we want to make sure that Erik ten Hag has the right players to be able to, implement his style of play. But the issue I have with him is his wages. If he was willing to take a massive pay cut, we're talking like, he's on about 700,000 a week at the moment. So if he was willing to go down to like 200, maybe 300, including bonuses max, and Barcelona were happy to pay him off some of his contract, then I would probably be open to it for 30 million pounds on a 200 grand a week deal. But in reality, if Barcelona have to pay off some of his contract, that probably means that they're not even going to get any fee for him. Does that make sense? So if we pay them 30 million pounds, but they have to say give him like, I don't know, say we give him 200 grand a week and he's on 700 at the moment. That means that Barcelona would have to give him the difference, which is about 26 million. And he's got 2 years left of his contract. So when you look at it like that, right, 26 million across 2 years is 52 million pounds. So even if we gave Barcelona 30 million pounds, right, they would still be having to pay another 26 out of their own pocket. Does that make sense? Like, it's a little bit complicated, the maths around it, but effectively, it was a similar situation last summer, wasn't it, with Maguire? Maguire was going to go to West Ham. We agreed a deal, but Maguire wasn't willing to take a pay cut, and we were going to have to pay Maguire to leave. And in the end, it worked out that the money we'd have to pay Maguire pretty much meant that we were getting no transfer fee. And that's the problem when there's players on big wages like de Jong, like Maguire's, that there are always teams interested in them, but it's very difficult to do a deal because no one's willing to match their wages. So Do I think Frankie de Jong will end up at Manchester United? I would say it's unlikely, but is there a genuine interest? Possibly. It seems like there is. There is some breaking news as well, which I wanted to react to live, which I think is going to cause some upset in the fan base, but it was obviously part of the show. Fabrizio's reporting in the last couple of minutes that apparently Liverpool are now exploring a deal for Martin Zubimendi. So this is coming from Fabrizio. I know that a lot of people really, really wanted Martin Zubimendi as a Manuel Ugarte replacement, but it looks like Liverpool are now trying to sign him. 60 million euros. It's a lot of money, and it's probably money we don't have, but does that then mean that we end up with Sander Berge? As I said earlier on in the video, Liverpool supposedly wanted Sander Berge, but Fabrizio has just said that Liverpool are now exploring a deal for Martin Zubimendi. This has come out in the last couple of minutes, so this is live breaking news. I would love Zubimendi. He's my number one option for the midfield. I think he'd be absolutely quality. I think he's exactly the profile of player we need, but I just don't see how we're going to be able to afford him, and that's why we're linked to people like Sander Berge, Yusuf Fofana, Amrabat, Rabiot for free. We're linked to those players because we don't have the budget to be able to spend 60 million on a player. We just don't. We don't have the money. We thought we'd be able to sell more people, but players are either refusing to leave or nobody wants to buy them because their wages are too big. And that's the situation we find ourselves in. It's frustrating. There's not really too much we can do about it. As I said before on multiple videos, a lot of these players that I'm talking about, their contracts expire next summer. The Maguires, the Lindelofs, the Pelistris. There's loads of others, McTominay's. There's loads of other players whose contracts expire next year. So if we can't sell them now, which we might not be able to, then most of them will leave next summer. And I know that means they'll leave for nothing, but we will clear their wages off the wage bill. So that, it's not positive, but there is a bit of light at the end of the tunnel. So yeah, Zubimendi apparently to Liverpool. That looks like it could well happen. But let me know your thoughts on everything we've discussed in the comment section below. Do you want Frankie de Jong at Manchester United? Please make sure to smash a like before you go. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. This has been Daily Red Devil. I'll be back at 6 p.m. for a long live show as normal. Have a great day, everybody, and I'll speak to you all later. Bye for now.